You know, there might be a lot of sectors that are being hit by layoffs, but I don't think any sector is getting worse than the tech sector because of things like advancements in AI that are really starting to scare the entire job market, scare a lot of companies, and even companies that are investing in this are starting to lay off their employees. Isn't that a shocker? It looks like it doesn't matter. If they find something more sufficient than you, there is no job security. And we're talking about places like Microsoft, which announced even more layoffs after a massive round of layoffs earlier in the year. With that being said, let's discuss this very topic. On today's video, we're talking layoffs, specifically in the tech sector.
Thousands of tech workers are losing their jobs and the numbers keep rising. Now, according to TechCrunch, Amazon had over 100 layoffs from Alexa, Echo, Ring, and etc. Microsoft had over 6,500 job cuts. Now that's 3% of their global staff. Chegg laid off around 248 of its employees. Now that's around 22% of their workforce. Match Group, including Henge and Tinder, laid off around 325 of their employees, and that's roughly around 13% of their workforce. And CrowdStrike laid off around 500 of their employees, and that's around 5% of their workforce. These tech players are making huge structural changes. And throughout the whole year of 2025, there has been over 50,000 tech layoffs, and it's only May. So you might be wondering, what is driving this? Well, it's not only AI and automation. It's also cost cutting, slower growth forecasts, and investor pressure. Some of it is about automation, but some of it is also about boosting profits. And while tech keeps evolving, thousands of people are getting left behind. The future of work is here, but it's not totally safe. Do you think tech companies should be held more accountable? Drop your thoughts down below and follow for more tech updates.
Well, she says that it's not just about the AI and automation, but let's be honest, it really is. Of course, there's going to be more examples of boosting profits, but when you lay off employees, you lay off salary, right? And that salary can be used to buy back stocks, which is a practice that a lot of big companies do. So I definitely think it has more to do with automation and layoffs.
You'll never guess what happened today. So I went to a coffee shop to apply to jobs, and as I was sitting there applying to jobs, this guy walks in. He sits next to me, and like 5 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, I noticed you're applying to software engineering jobs. I'm actually a lead at a company, and we have open positions." At this point, he knows nothing about me, he knows nothing about my experience. Like, apparently he just really wants to hire me. And then I go like, "Oh my gosh, la la la." I start chatting with him. I'm like, "Great, like an opportunity." And I'm currently in New York where I want to move. So I was like, "Great, the job is going to be in New York, la-di-da." And then he's like, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, he tells me a little bit of his company." And I'm like, "Okay, great. Like, I would love to connect with you." And in my head, I'm thinking like, give him my LinkedIn. But then he goes like, "Yeah, give me your number and I'll reach out to you on like WhatsApp or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, sure." So I give him my number, and then he's like, "Yeah, okay, so what do you think about like grabbing your real drink to talk about this, like a drink sometime this week?" At that point, I'm like, what? I think this is the exploitation they talk about when they talk about exploitation. Like, I think this man is trying to take advantage of me needing a job to go on a date. This has to be a date. Like, I was like, oh, maybe it's not. But then I asked my friend, she was like, no, he clearly wants to get a date out of you. And then he sends me a WhatsApp message. He's like, "Wednesday night at bar 6, 7 p.m. I'll pick you up." I'm like, ugh. And then the biggest plot twist is my friend Allison here found his LinkedIn, and he's not even a lead. He's just a suite. Anyway, not me getting exploited. I think I'm not gonna go, obviously.
Shocker, people are going to be taking advantage of this horrible job market. I've talked about this, but it was more relating to sex for rent in terms of how expensive rentals are, especially in Canada, and people were exploiting it. And now people are even exploiting the job market by being creepy. Who would have thought?
I'm dead inside. I just read this article in the Skim saying that AI could eliminate up to 50% of white-collar entry-level jobs, and that it could potentially push unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 5 years. Hope you're having a great day.
Yeah, we've talked about entry-level jobs, and I honestly think that they are going to be gone soon, especially white-collar entry-level jobs in the tech sector. Microsoft calls hundreds more jobs amid AI-driven cost-cutting measures. Exactly, AI cost-driven measures. What is the reason behind this? A Microsoft spokesperson said, "We continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. These layoffs come as the tech industry pushes to reduce costs while heavily investing in artificial intelligence." Well, there you go. I've said it in this video, and it's even being said in this article right here by edX. But it doesn't just stop there. We're talking more tech companies laying people off. LinkedIn cuts 281 workers in California as tech layoffs continue. The Microsoft-owned tech company has cut 281 workers in California, a notice filed this week to the California Employment Development Department shows. Earlier this month, Microsoft said that it was terminating 3% of its staff, or about 6,000 workers. The layoffs affected its California employees and LinkedIn workers. And again, more automation is to blame for this. We are going to see a massive economic downturn if this continues, and it definitely will, because AI is getting scary. If you guys have seen any of those Google BO AI videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It is going to get scary, not just for the tech sector, but maybe even the film industry.
It won't be moving fast enough for me. So there's this AI CEO, and he's saying that by the next maybe 4 years, but as little as 1 year, the unemployment rate can jump up to 20%, and that most jobs that are white-collar jobs are going to be automated at scale. So I'm trying to figure out why y'all not moving fast enough. Y'all are literally gonna sit here and let these people use you for your time, energy, and resources to build their AI and their products, and you work for these people while they are telling you flat out in their face that they're going to lay you off. If everybody collectively just quit their jobs, I'm telling you, if everybody just collectively quit their jobs, especially the jobs that's really not even like emergencies, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like fast food joints, retail. Y'all could just walk out, because you wouldn't be able to tell me something like that and I still work for a place and you use me up until you don't need me anymore. And on top of that, you have the LinkedIn co-founder saying stuff like the 9-to-5 is going to be obsolete. I came across this article. This article was written in 2018. So this is meaning like they've already been planning stuff like this, y'all. This is real information that you need to jump on now.
And this is stuff that I've talked about before. I honestly think that you should be looking for trades, or at least finding your own way of making money, another stream of income, because the layoffs are coming very fast, especially if you're in the tech sector. And I honestly think she has some good advice. Why are you sticking around? Why are you just being complacent? Why are you just sitting there and you're not going to do anything about it? You know that these layoffs are coming. You might as well learn another skill on the side, something that can give you some employable skills.
It's official. We are all cooked, and the job market is about to get way worse. The age of AI layoffs is upon us. Just in the last week, Walmart, Microsoft, and Duolingo all announced that they were going to do layoffs, and more in the mix for Amazon, GM, General Mills, just to name a few. And we are going to continue to see layoffs. Now, for a lot of these large companies, they are looking at middle managers and entry level, but really anyone who would be considered a knowledge worker. So think your corporate positions, they are all at risk in the name of efficiency. And when these companies make these layoffs, the stock price goes up. So companies are literally incentivized to do it. So if you are entry level, if you're a mid-level manager, and particularly if you're working at a large company, be prepared that you might get that call that you are laid off. It doesn't matter if you've been at the company for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, everybody is at risk. This is also why many entry-level workers are opting to go into the trades, healthcare, any of those hands-on fields, and are opting out of the knowledge worker lifestyle. Things are about to change big time, and this is just the beginning.
Exactly, the knowledge-based work. Knowledge is always a good thing, but when you have AI that literally knows everything because it has all the information from everything on the internet, all of that data compiled in its operating system, then of course you're not going to be able to compete with that. And that's kind of where we're at right now with tech layoffs, especially knowledge-based ones. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, I guess enjoy again is maybe not the right word for this. I guess if you've learned something from today's video, hit the like button on the way out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.